Well, we actually have had quite a busy week, and that is why we are recording on a Friday. But we were actually, like Ellie said, in camp. We were in Bristol, which is new for us.
It is new for us, but you know what? The sun was shining, and I absolutely loved that this week. Cam said this morning, "You got a bit of tan on you," and I thought I have been gagging for that. For that for weeks. So we went to Bristol, a little bit further away, but I think it was quite nice to have different environment.
I liked not knowing where things were.
Yeah, I did as well.
Did you?
I actually did, like, just discovering. Like, it just made me feel like I need to be on my shit a little bit.
Yeah.
But also the change of environment was both external and internal. We had a few new girls in. And, you know, we're wanting to come into this Six Nations and this year, growing from last year, and there's changes that we're doing as well and adapting, because obviously we were successful last year, but we know you can't ever stop adapting, because we keep talking about this gap and the fact that we grow the gap and then someone just grows and the gap gets closer and closer, and we need to adapt and change that. So yeah, there's new things that we're learning as well, and it was a very intense camp, both mentally and physically, but it's good to be back with the girls. I was very much like, wow, I'm so grateful to have this the week after the semi, because it was just like, next job. Yeah. We have to go on.
To be fair, so I saw her on the Saturday, and then camp we were in on the Monday, and I walked in and she walked around the corner, and literally the first thing she went to me, she went, "Oh, we've gone viral."
Yeah, show a bit of love. People love it.
And I went, "Yeah, nice to see you too, Elle." It was just so funny. And then it was actually kind of nice. It was the other way around in our normal friendship. I went, "Oh, Elle, where's entry bed?" And she went, "Oh, I'll show you." And I was like, "Oh, God, what's going on with you?"
So obviously we turned up to camp in our own stuff as well. That's something to mention.
New,
obviously, Bristol have done it. We've touched on that in the past, but it's something that we did coming into camp this week. And obviously your opinions on when Bristol did it and your thoughts around it. How did it feel being in that position doing it yourself?
Yeah, good. I mean, it was for a camp. Like it
wasn't for a game.
It wasn't for a game. Our first days at camp are very light, a lot of meetings, and I think Mitch really wants to have that ethos and that environment to be like quite relaxed. So I think on the first day he definitely wants that. He wants people to come in whatever they're comfortable in, and then, you know, we just build within the week of how intense the week is going to get. And I think it's really important. He wants people to show their character, their individuality, and yeah, I think it's nice. It probably does, like, I think, stress some people out. But yeah, I think it's just nice to see people relaxed and cool, and I think it was nice that little Hallie got a feature, Abby Ward's daughter, and like she was in for the first morning, so that's really nice. And yeah, I think it was good, and we've done it before, but I don't think we'd probably executed it as well as this time.
Well, normally we turn up and then you kind of get changed back into normal kit for meetings, whereas we're in our own stuff all day, which it was nice because you just like comfortable. And, you know, as much as you're very much locked in the meeting, you just
feel a bit more relaxed.
Relaxed that, you know, we're building into it now. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I liked it.
Agree. What did you enjoy most maybe about being in Bristol or at a different stimulus?
Something I did enjoy actually, and I think we said it ages ago. We obviously know as our audience, it's very family orientated. We know that we inspire the next generation, their parents, whether they've played rugby in the past. Some of the older generation now are going, wow, when I used to play rugby, and that's really cool. But something that I thought was really, really cool, on the last day as we were coming away from the session, there was a group of boys that were, you know, college age, like 18, 19.
Sorry, 16, 17, 18.
16, 17. They looked like our age, basically.
Sorry, what, 26?
27, no, like 27. But yeah, they like, I think that's the group of people that we're probably challenging their mindset on whether they, you know, appreciate female rugby players for being rugby players or not. And anyway, we were walking back and they asked for a picture with me, which I haven't really been asked by a group of boys to have a picture with them before, and it really made me like reflect of the journey that we're on and how things are changing and what we've got ahead of us as well, that they did, recognise and then ask for a picture as well was really cool.
Yeah, it was just nice to be in an environment where there was other people around, I think, that were doing sport. Like there was football going on, there was American football going on. I agree. I thought it was just nice to be in a different environment. And it helped, I think, with the stimulus to be like, okay, well, this is a new chapter in the Red Roses playbook, which I think was really nice. And it was really nice to have some newbies into camp.
It was.
We had the likes of Jade Shekels, Millie David, Sarah Parry, which, her name is getting a bit of
mixed
up. So obviously it's Sarah Parry.
So this is the thing. I've always, through Quins, called her Pez. And that's just all, like, I'll hear someone else say Pez, but then I might hear someone say Paz. Like, I just always say Pez. She always replies to it. She's never said it's Paz.
Yeah. We were then doing a drill in the backs with Lou. And she goes, who is our backs coach? And she goes, Sarah. And then she laughs. She goes, Sarah. And we're all like, like, it's uncomfortable, like, as in, not that she hasn't got her name wrong, obviously her name's right, but she just, and this, I apologise to Sarah Parry's parents if you are listening, but she just doesn't give Sarah energy. She doesn't give Sarah energy. And then Lou was like, what do you like to be called? She was like, Pez, Paz, Sarah, like whatever. And I was thinking, so confusing. And then I was calling her Paz because I think Parry, Paz, it sounds better. And then I asked her, I said, why do you get called Pez? And she's like, oh, like Langy just started calling me it, so it just stuck. And I was like, what? I was like, how? Where have you got that from?
Like nicknames anyway, like they can be whatever you want them to. Mo and Natasha don't sound like, maybe if it was Nah, but it's not Nah, it's Mo.
No, and she hates Tash as well, so
just don't go with that.
But it was really nice. I think they were very quick learners.
Very
I know,
much so.
we have spoken about the backs, obviously, but they were very quick learners. It was just, again, nice to have like new faces. Like you could actually speak to someone who either didn't know your story or doesn't know you very well, and it was just really nice. And we learned that Millie David can Latin dance,
or line dance, and she can speak Latin.
No,
Latin dance.
She can Latin dance. And she can recite pi to the like
44
numbers or something. Like, it was mental. She also can do like the Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, talented lady.
She also is half Australian. So good job we've snapped her up as the Red Roses. But it was just really fascinating. She's got 4 or 5 brothers. Like, just learning about people, I think, is really nice. She's also doing, I'm telling her life story. She's also doing maths at uni. So very clever cookie. It was really, really nice to just speak to people that were different, that, I don't have to speak to Ellie 24/7 because, sometimes it does get a bit boring.
Yeah. But also, like you said, they picked up on stuff really, really quickly. And I heard them, like Sarah, I heard Pez and Millie speaking, and they were like, oh God, there's so much fun. And I basically went over to them and said, listen, we're all in the same position right now because there's a lot of new things that we're talking about. So if you have questions, someone who's been here for years now probably have the same questions. So don't feel like you're on your own. Like, start having the conversations with us, because we want to work as a unit, and what you're seeing is very different to what someone else is seeing, and it'll only help us grow. But they did fantastically well in the camp. A lot of learnings that we've made from this camp going into the next one. Obviously, we don't have the finalists in the next camp, but I think we've got some more under 20s girls. So yeah, I think it's great, and I think heading into a Six Nations, we're in the right. We're in a good position going into it, like learning and adapting as one big group, and I think we'll hopefully keep on learning with a World Cup ahead of us as well.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely key. I think that's come across a lot within the first camp, is that we're just focusing on the Six Nations.
Yeah,
like that's kind of it. Like, obviously we know something's massive is coming up, but like the Six Nations is going to get us into the best position for that at the end, at the summer. So I think we are obviously looking ahead, obviously individually or as a team. Yeah, but like actually I think Mitch said that we want to be the first team do like 4 or 3 Grand Slams or something, like back to back. And I think that's what we want to achieve first, before we then go and, you know, hopefully do something phenomenal in the summer. So, you know, that was definitely made clear within the camp, and I think it made everyone really excited.
Yeah, it did. And, you know, we always get asked about the World Cup. It's the one thing that everyone's talking about. And I think, you know, whenever I answer those questions, I always say, like, we have to like look what's here now, and something that Mitch keeps saying is be where your feet are.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if we look too far ahead at the World Cup, this is all prep. Like the Prem we've just been in is all prep without it feeling like prep. WX3, it's all part of the journey of, you know, learning how we are going to be successful in the summer. And if we look all the way over there, we'll miss this opportunity to learn, to adapt, to work out, you know, areas in our game we need to get better, because the focus is that final, that semi-final that we spoke about a minute ago.
Yeah.
Whereas if we just focus on now, things will work out the way that they're meant to work out.
Yeah, definitely. There was one funny thing in camp that I will share, because it does involve both Ellie and I. We were doing a tackling drill, and just learning some new ways to tackle. I'm not going to use my words of how to describe it, because I want to keep it PG, and we have some younger listeners listening to the podcast. But it's basically about like getting your feet in tight and, you know, really wrapping the attacker up. And we were in a 3 with Holly Aitchison, and you had to basically go down on your knees, bend on, like be on your knees, and then tackle someone else that was on your knees. And basically all 3 of us had grazes from the semi-final. I'd taped mine up, like got a bit of pad, like just, anyway, probably a bit of pussy, but anyway, it had some tape on it. I think so did Holly, and she had trousers on. And then Ellie just had trousers on, and she went first, and she tackled Holly, and then she just went, ow! Ow!
Honestly.
And her eyes started watering, and I was like, what? My graze!
The whole scab straight off. It was in the trousers somewhere.
And she literally like brought her trousers up.
Yeah, it was so sore. It was so sore. And you're like, why have you not
taped it? But also it was tiny, so like, I'm not going to say mine's bigger, but my graze is bigger. But like, trust, if you've never experienced an Astro or a 3G burn, you haven't experienced pain. Trust me. And then when it gets caught or reopened, it's hard. It's horrible. She pulled her trouser up and she went, Lewis, who's our doctor, Lewis, can I have a plaster? But she had water in her eyes.
It was so bad.
And then when we got back in the changing room, she went, my poorly knee.
It was so sore, and it was on the first one of all things. I thought, it's going to be miserable for the rest of this drill now.
It was just so funny. It really made me giggle.